Concern tonight that some people may be getting away with murder right here in Cleveland. One group says our city has not one, but two murder hotspots.
Tonight, Only News 5 is digging into the data and hearing one father's concern that a serial killer could be targeting women in the same neighborhood where his daughter, Aliana DeFries, was found brutally murdered.
It's like the wild, wild west out here. There's predators running around. You know, the police can't do everything. We as a community need to get involved.
So, what have police done to ramp up their efforts to crack these unsolved murders?
5 on Your Side investigator Joe Paganakis spoke with people who live in Cleveland's killing grounds and the city council members who represent them.
Well, in the past year or so, Cleveland police have added additional homicide detectives and have launched a relatively new task force to deal with unsolved murders. But the families of the victims believe much more must be done.
Could Cleveland have a serial killer problem?
Yes, they do. I honestly believe they do.
Damon DeFries, whose 14-year-old daughter Aliana was abducted and murdered in a Cleveland home in 2017, believes a series of unsolved murders along East 93rd in Cleveland can't be ruled out as the work of a serial killer.
This looks like a hunting ground. There are multiple predators, I believe.
Damon and Watanya DeFries pointing to this corridor of unsolved murder cases along East 93rd from Buckeye Road to Harvard Avenue over the past several years, including the murders of Jasmine Trotter, Ashley Lazieski, and Christina Malone.
They don't stop until they're caught. They think that this can go on forever.
It's just a painful, emotional, it's a roller coaster.
Christina Malone's daughter, part of a Cleveland vigil calling for more police resources on these cases just last year.
I don't want to speculate that there is, but I don't think you can say that there's not.
Former Councilman Zach Reed, whose ward is part of the East 93rd corridor, is not ruling out a serial killer in these cases.
The 5 people that lost their life here on 93rd, not one person has been brought to justice. Not one.
We think we see 2 generalized corridors.
Murder Accountability Project founder Thomas Hargrove says his Virginia-based nonprofit found a second suspicious corridor of unsolved murders in a diagonal sweep along Euclid Avenue from East Cleveland and a few miles to the south. The organization providing key data to help Cleveland police in the creation of a homicide review task force, which is getting results. But Hargrove says more resources are needed across the country.
We simply have insufficient homicide detectives in America.
Meanwhile, DeFries and Reed say whether these unsolved cases are the work of one killer or many, more must be done.
Lack of police on the street, lack of police in our specialized units, and the lack of technology that the monitor even says we don't have. You put those 3 together, you got a perfect storm.
And the Murder Accountability Project is working on compiling a national list of unsolved murders, hoping that police will be helped in connecting these cases both here in Cleveland and across the country. Reporting live in Cleveland, I'm 5 on Your Side investigator Joe Paganakis.